Hey girlies, hey gays, hey theys, and welcome back to Live, Laugh, Love Lesbian, a podcast for the girls who like girls, the lesbians, the queers, the theys, the gays, anybody who identifies in our lovely little LGBTQIA plus community. I always panic that I'm going to get that the wrong way round or miss out a letter, but I think I got it all. I told you all the other week, but my girlfriend calls us the alphabet mafia because there's so many little letters in there. But I love that, it's always expanding and being inclusive of everybody. Anyway, how are we all doing? It's so good to be back in your ears for episode 31 of Live, Laugh, Love Lesbian. Again, I tell you every week, but I just can't express my gratitude enough to you all for listening, sharing, downloading, reviewing, everything that you do for the podcast. It does not go unnoticed, and I am so grateful to every single one of you for being here today, whether you're watching on Thursday when it comes out, whether you're watching, I don't know, on the weekend. Do you save the podcast for a weekend treat? Are you having a run listening to me in your ears? If you are, keep going, you got this. Are you driving home from work? Are you driving to work? Wherever you are, wherever you're listening from, thank you for being here, I love you. Or are you watching me on YouTube, having a little chill evening or morning? I don't know, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, thanks for being here. I love you. I'm grateful for you. And yeah, welcome back to another episode of Live, Laugh, Love Lesbian. I'm really excited with this week's episode. We have some really fun dilemmas sent in, and I finally have some fun football updates for you all. So, like most lesbians, I am a big women's football fan. I'm sure a lot of you know that it is probably one of the I don't think I fit into many lesbian stereotypes. I'm currently trying out wearing more jewellery, which I feel like, I don't know if it's making me look more gay, but it makes me feel, because I have rings on my finger, I feel more gay. And I saw someone yesterday, I was doing some content for it's called Daisy Chain Megastore. It's like a charity shop, but it's insanely humongous, like a superstore. I was doing some content for them, and one of the girls who was helping out had loads of rings on. And I'm like, because that is, it's one of the universal signs of being a lesbian. When we did our question of the week, what do you do to make yourself look more gay? A lot of the answers were wear lots of rings. So I was sort of trying to gauge from this girl if she was a lesbian because she had loads of rings on, or, bisexual or gay, or whatever she could have been. I was trying to show off my rings and be like, look, I wear lots of rings, look at me. And she was wearing quite a few rings. So I was like, could she be gay? Could she be gay? We will never know. But yeah, I'm trying out wearing some more jewellery and rings. But yeah, the other lesbian stereotype I feel like I fit into, because that's one I'm trying to get more into. But the one I definitely am in is supporting women's football. I have since the Women's Euros. That's when I first got into football. I think it was the semi-finals I watched, and it was when Alessia Russo scored that back heel goal against Sweden. And I was like, hang on, I'm obsessed. And then I remember whatever I was doing the day of the final, it was going to be a really tight finish for me to get home in time for the final. I don't remember where I was, but I just remember rushing in, getting home and turning the telly on straight away. And I was glued to my screen not even till the final whistle, until all the celebration, until literally the TV started showing the next programme, because I was so invested. But yeah, I've been a women's football fan, so I think, was that 2022? Maybe. It's nearly 5 years I've been a football fan. Back to the point of the story. So yeah, I used to go to the football all the time. We used to live in Hertfordshire, so we were 20 minutes max from Meadow Park and the Emirates, and really close to Wembley as well for all of the Lionesses matches and obviously the Arsenal women's matches. And then when me and my girlfriend Taylor moved to Newcastle, back to my family home, we just didn't have as much time to be going to the football, because we both started working more frequently, because when we were down living in Hertfordshire, Taylor was at uni and I was just doing a few little jobs. But then we came home, Taylor got a full-time job, and I wouldn't say do I work full-time? I don't think so. I have a few little jobs. So I do dance teaching in the evenings, weekends I do princess parties, which that is the main reason I can't go. And then I do the podcast and content and social media as well. So I have a few little jobs that I dabble between. I also walk dogs and do dog sitting as well sometimes, but that's just for my family's company. So I help them out when my parents aren't available to do that. That was such a ramble. Why was I even telling you that? Oh yeah, so I do princess parties on weekends now that I'm back in Newcastle, and football matches do tend to be on the weekends. You get the odd Wednesday night match, which I try and go to, but basically the point of the story is I haven't been able to go to a women's football match in forever. I think the last one I was at was March last year, and it is basically February. It's the 28th of January as I'm filming this today. So I haven't been to a football match for ages. And then this Sunday, well, last Sunday, I was like, okay, I actually don't really have that many parties. And one of my other performers was available. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to give the two to you and I am going to have a day to go to the football. And I had the best time. So we went to watch Newcastle United women playing Portsmouth women, and oh my god, the vibes. I have missed the football vibes so much. Just like that, like pre-match build up, like watching the players warm up, like oh my god, I just love that feeling. I just love being at the football. It's just like a little happy place for me with all the good vibes. So they won. It was 3-2. It was a tense game. I think after the first half it was 1-0 to Newcastle. And I noticed an interval. That's the old theatre kid in me. In the half time, oh my god, at half time, I saw this man walking around with a camera and a microphone, and I'm like, that's up my street. So I'm like, oh, are you filming anything exciting? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm doing some interviews, but I'm trying to find someone who's American. And I was like, I can do a great American accent. And he was like, oh, okay. I think just being like, I'm not going to make you put on a fake American accent. But anyway, he's like, well, do you want to be interviewed? And I was like, heck yeah. So I was like, do you want me to do my normal accent? And he was like, yeah. So we did a little halftime interview, and that was for Newcastle Fans TV, and that is now live on their YouTube and their social medias. I have linked it in all of my socials if anyone wants to go watch. But it just got me thinking that I would love to maybe do something like that a bit more full-time. Like I've mentioned, I'm wanting to start doing content creation and social media podcasts, like that socially world, more as a full-time job. So I'm like, do I want to look at getting into like the football content creation side of things, like, you know, interviewing the players, things like that. So that's something I'm starting to now explore, because it was just really fun to like chat. And I mean, I'm definitely like, I don't know about football. I know what I see, but I don't know, like, I never played football growing up. I didn't really watch football growing up. So some of the questions, it's like, you know, how do you think she's fitting in with the team? And I'm just like, yeah, she looks like she's doing great. Like, you know, I probably wouldn't pick up on things that like footballers would pick up on. You know, they'd be like, oh, I feel like she could have ran down the wing a bit more. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have the qualifications to talk about stuff like that. But I feel like it could be quite fun, you know, like creating the content for women's football teams or doing some like little interviews and things like that. So if anyone is watching, hey, I'm your girl, hit me up. I'd love to do more of that. Yeah, it was just so nice to actually be back at the football. Went with Taylor and my mum, bumped into quite a few friends whilst we were there. Then we went to Costa after, caught up with a few friends, and the goalkeeper was literally sat on the next table, and I was like, looking at her, and I was like, I've seen that face before. And then we saw on her coat, it was the Newcastle United logo. And I was like, I swear she's on the team. And then we did a little Instagram stalk of the team. The goalkeeper, and I was like, oh my god, it's the goalkeeper. So we probably looked dead weird, like staring at her while she was sitting trying to figure out who she was. But then we eventually did figure it out. But yeah, I just love being back at the football, and I'm so excited because next month, February, which really isn't that far away, I am going to watch Arsenal Women, which you guys know is like, it's hard. Like, I love Newcastle and I love Arsenal so much, but like the first women's football match I went to, was it a Newcastle women's game? Or was it an England match? It was either Newcastle United women or it was England. I don't remember which one. But then because we were living in Hertfordshire, it was like the matches I would go to would be the Arsenal and the England matches. And then when I would come home, we'd like go to like a one-off Newcastle match. So my heart's like, it's torn between both. But I feel like at the moment I can like comfortably support both. I know there's a lot of like controversy being like, you can't support more than one team. It's like, well, I personally think you can. I just want to see people succeed. I'm just, you know, here for the women's football in general. I'm not discriminating. Newcastle women are in the Championship and Arsenal are in the WSL. So they're not really like going against each other. Like they might be in like a cup or something like that. But in the actual like WSL Women's Championship like title race, they're not playing against each other. They're in completely different leagues. So I'm like, I feel like I can happily support Newcastle on my Championship team and Arsenal on my WSL team. But Newcastle are a good team. And I do think in a couple of seasons, they probably will end up getting promoted to the WSL. So I'm like, then who am I going to support? Like, do you know what I mean? It's going to be so hard for my heart to like share the love between them both. And I know people are probably going to be like, well, you shouldn't even have to have that decision because you should just have one team. But I like to support them both, and I feel like, you know, at the moment we're just going to live in the moment and happily have a championship team and a WSL team. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling about football now, even though I feel like I could have a whole podcast dedicated to women's football. I love it that much. So if we want more football chit chats, we absolutely can. I'm trying to think if I have any other updates for you all. I honestly don't think I do. It's been a pretty boring week apart from going to the football. I did a social media shoot day for a brand the other day. I don't think I can say who it was just yet. It wasn't like for the podcast, it was for like a random company, but it's just good, you know, to get that experience meeting different like industry professionals and like that experience in front of camera, even though I do have a lot of on-camera experience growing up in musical theatre and the acting world. But yeah, it's just nice to get to like meet different creatives and things like that. So when I can tell you who I was shooting for, I will, but it's not as cool as like the Tinder shoot, but it was very fun. It was a nice day. Got to make some friends whilst we were shooting, and like we got to like do a lot of like shots in our pajamas, which was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling about all of those things that you don't care about, and I'm going to get into your question of the week's the question of the week, your dilemmas, your stories, your questions, and all of that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this week's episode. So guys, shall we get in with this week's question of the week? Let me find your answers. So this week's question of the week is, what is your biggest turn off? First comment is my favourite. Men, full stop. Yeah, I totally agree. Being shorter than me, is that harsh? I don't actually think it's harsh. Like, I feel like people just have preferences in life, don't they? Like, some people I feel like, some people probably just wouldn't bother and they'd be like, okay, I'm 2 feet taller than you, is that a lot? Like 2 inches taller than you, but I'm okay with that. Like, me and Taylor are like, Taylor's like this much taller than me. I'm like 5'6" and Taylor's like 5'6.5". And I always said I don't think I could date someone shorter than me, but I think I just like could always just imagine someone like taller than me. He's like, I don't know why, you know, you always think about like stealing their hoodies, and I don't know why I feel like if they're smaller than me, I'll not fit in their hoodies, but I probably would. But yeah, I don't think it's harsh. Like, people have their preferences, and some people probably want their partners to be smaller than them, and they probably want to be the taller one. So I feel like, you know, there's enough people out there that like the smaller people, enough people that like the taller people, and enough people who are happy just with whatever, or, you know, being the same size as their partner. So I don't think you're being too harsh. When they brag about how many girls they've slept with, I don't know if that would like turn me off. I guess it depends, how are they saying it? Are they like, are you literally about to have sex? And they're like, oh yes, like I slept with like 13 girls. Like, are they trying to just like impress you and like, you know, psych you up for a good time? Or are they, do you know what I mean? Is it like, are they saying it to be like, just to try and impress you? Or is it like, I've slept with 13 girls, like you're nothing special? Because I feel like that would then turn me off. But yeah, I don't know, because I do get mad when I remember that Taylor's been with other girls before me. So I feel like if they're just like constantly bragging about like all these girls that they've been with, it would be a turn off. So yeah, I agree. When they act like men, I wonder what you mean by acting like men. Just like doing like manly things. I'm trying to think what like a manly thing is. Don't really know. I'm not really around men much apart from my dad, and try to avoid him because he's quite annoying. I know he snores. Is that a manly thing, to snore? But then Taylor snores sometimes. She's so good. You know, I snored the other day, guys. Taylor took the funniest video of me snoring. And then I always go, I'm like, what's your favourite thing about me? Like, what do you love the most about me? And the most recent thing is your little cute snores, which I find quite sweet. But yeah, when they act like men, maybe, you know, like typical, like, doing it in quotation marks because not all men are like that and annoying and idiots, but, you know, like not washing up the dishes, like being a bit of a playboy, stuff like that. Maybe that's what you mean. But I do feel like if it's in that sense of like being a bit of a fuck boy, playboy, not doing the dishes, like being dirty around the house, that's definitely a turn off. How the previous woman before me said she is talented in the department and they keep running back, in brackets. They don't run back though, close brackets, but keeps bragging about it. So what, the previous woman before you said that she is... Oh, so the girl you're seeing, her ex, is trying to tell you that, like, she's really good and she keeps going back to see her for sex, but she's not. Is that what you mean? I'm going to read that one more time so my brain can comprehend it. The previous woman before me said she is talented in the department and they keep running back. Or do you mean like your girlfriend, the person you're sleeping with, is saying that their ex is? I'm a little bit confused. I don't know if that's just my brain. But yeah, I feel like that is definitely a turn off when someone's just like, you know, oh yeah, like my ex was like really good, or like my ex keeps wanting to come back to me for sex because I was just that good. It's like, okay, we don't need to talk about your ex. Like, no. Okay, next one. No communication. That's 100%. I feel like that's a bit more like, is that more red flag than turn off? But maybe, I guess if you're in the bedroom and there's no communication, it is difficult, especially if you know the specific things that you want to try and explore and the communication is just not there. I can see that it would be a turn off. But also I think a bit of a red flag if, you know, you're trying to get to know somebody and there's just no communication there. Men. 100%. When she likes boys. I wonder if that means in the sense of like if someone's bisexual, because I feel like, I don't think it would really bother me, to be honest, if I was seeing someone who liked men as well, because, you know, you are in a comfortable, happy, secure relationship, so they shouldn't be like actively thinking about having sex with men or wanting to have sex with a man. Does that make sense? But maybe, I guess, if you're like trying to get, you know, into the zone and they just keep fantasizing about like willies and men, it's like, that is turning me off because I don't like men, and why are you thinking about that? You should be thinking about me. Oh, this one's definitely giving red flag. When she won't let me talk to other girls, for real, let me have some friends. Yeah, again, that's giving red flag, like not letting you have friends and not letting you talk to other girls. Like, I'm all for like a protective partner. Like, I don't really think she does it anymore, but when me and Taylor were first together, that we'd be walking on the road and she'd like move me to the side, like away from the cars. She probably doesn't do that anymore. She probably wants to push me in front of them because she's fed up of me. But, you know, like cute things like that when like they're protective, or like, you know, when someone comes up to you on a night out and there's just like that protective hand. Why did I do that like that? A protective hand. When you're like, just like little protective things like that, but being controlling and not letting you talk to the girls and having friends. Like, I don't know if she thinks she's being cute by doing that and be like, oh, I'm being protected. Like, you're mine, you don't need to speak to anyone else. But no, that's just a straight up red flag. Like, you have to be able to have friends and talk to other women. Like, yeah, fair enough. If you were talking to the woman and flirting with them and doing all these weird things, like, that would be a problem. But you just want to have some girly friends. So it's giving red flag, but also, yeah, definitely a turn off. Next one, bad hygiene. That's 100% a turn off. I'm sure we had the dilemma ages ago about the person with the stinky vagina. Like, unfortunately, it is a turn off. So clean your minge, clean your teeth, clean your pits, clean your bits, and you're sorted. Dishonesty, yeah, definitely. Like, don't lie, just be honest. I think that's so important in relationships, is just having that clear communication. And I'm going to do another plug for the episode with Lauren Sanford. We interviewed Lauren, who's an LGBTQ plus relationship coach, like specialises in lesbian, gay, queer relationships. So go and listen to that episode if you think you could do with some good like communication tips on how to, you know, talk to your partner and tell them what's really on your mind, and, you know, try and like avoid arguments and things like that. It was such an eye-opening episode because, yeah, dishonesty is just, it's not the one. So if you want to work on your communication, go and listen to that episode. And final one to finish on, I'm loving it. Men as an entire species. I feel like I don't even need to comment. That is brilliant. Yeah, unfortunately, men, to most lesbians, to all lesbians, you are a turn off. But it's okay. It's okay, men. You're useful for some things. What are men useful for? I don't know. Right, shall we do some dilemmas? Yeah, let's do some dilemmas. I always forget which ones we did last week. Okay, here we go. Let's get into some of your guys' dilemmas and questions and stories. So, hey Jules, here is a story of mine. Here we go. I've been dating this cute girl, let's call her Evelyn, for a little over a month. She had previously dated my friend, let's call her Anna, but they had broke up. I was over at Evelyn's house when Anna came there. We were in the middle of kissing in Evelyn's room when Anna comes in. She was crazy mad, telling me that I was a cheating piece of shit. I then found out that they hadn't broken up. What? How did this person get in the house as well? Like, did she have a key, or did like the parents just let her in and be like, oh hey, it's Anna, come on in? That's crazy. I quickly got up and tried to explain the situation. Anna was mad, she was screaming and all. Evelyn calmed Anna down. They whispered something to each other and turned to me. Then they had managed to propose a deal to me. They wanted to have a threesome. Where has this come from? She was just mad at you 2 minutes ago. What the hell? Anna was hesitant, and it turns out this was all Evelyn's plan because she didn't want to choose between us. She wanted to share us both. At that point, I just left, and I haven't heard from them since. Well, that took a turn. Oh my god, so she must have like invited this Anna round, being like, oh yeah, like, hey babe, come round about 2 o'clock, just checking our watch, like holding off kissing you until like, I don't know, 1:55, starts smooching. Then Anna comes in, obviously is going to get pissed off if that's her girlfriend kissing someone else. Not your fault because you didn't know, because you thought they'd broke up. And then she'd like premeditated this thought of having a threesome with you both. Crazy. I mean, good on you for, you know, just walking away from the situation, because that just sounds messy and toxic. And there's definitely just going to be, you know, if you did stay for the threesome, I wouldn't judge. But I feel like it's then like well, who's she actually going to choose to be with? Like, you can't just keep having threesomes over it unless you're going to be, what's it when you fancy more than one person at once? Polyamorous? Is that the right one? You know, unless you're going to be in a polyamorous relationship. But I feel like because they were together first, even if like you weren't going to become a thing, you were just all like sleeping together, like because they were together first, there's always going to be, I feel like, a bit more of a spark there, and you're going to feel like the one like who's being left on the side. So I feel like you probably did just do the right thing to get out of that situation. But yeah, I just feel like imagine like having that thought. It's like me like ringing one of Taylor's exes, being like, oh, like come round to our house, and then making them like argue, and them like, oh yeah, let's have a threesome. It makes no sense. Anyway, next dilemma. Just a short story I have from when I decided to come out of the closet as a lesbian to my family. I was 15 when I met this girl online who lived nearby to me. We got talking and I felt such a connection, like maybe there could be something, so I asked her on a date. I'd been on dates with boys prior to this, and my family was open to the idea of me dating, but they had no idea I was into girls. So this is where I put my plan into place. I decide when Jessie, the girl, came to the door, I'd announced to my family that I'm going on a date with the girl. Stupid plan, I know. Anyways, I get myself dressed up, and at this point I'm so nervous that I could genuinely throw up. That's when I hear it. The doorbell rings, and suddenly I'm realising how awful this plan was. Why didn't I go to Jessie's door instead? I run downstairs and decide to just ace it, like ripping off a band-aid. I'm going on a date with a girl. I yell out to my family who are all standing in the kitchen. Oh my god, I felt like that was just adrenaline kicking in, like running out this, I'm going on a date with a girl! That's so funny. I hear my parents exchange some words before my mum steps out. A girl? I nodded. Oh god, telling this story is actually making me cringe. Don't cringe, no one is judging here. That's right, I'm actually into girls, and she's here. I didn't waste a second opening the door. My eyes widened and I gasped, the embarrassment hitting me like a train, as my mum stood there with her brows furrowed, standing outside the door. Oh my god, what the hell, guys, it's just taking a turn. Standing outside the door was a 6-foot boy. My friend knew Jessie, said Jessie was looking for a date, and then gave me the number. Since my friend was into girls, I assumed Jessie was a girl. Unisex names, right? Oh my god, so your friends like set you up for this date, like, oh, I know this person called Jessie, like, I think you'll really like them, you'll get on really well. and you're like, heck yeah, like I'm so up for that, like you're a lesbian, you're setting me up with your lesbian friend, and then at the door is a boy, and you've just told your parents that there's a girl at the door and that you're into girls, and just like had this whole coming out conundrum for there to be a boy at the door. And how old are you? 15. I feel like I would have just wanted the ground to swallow me up. Anyway, let's finish the story, then we'll debrief. My mum just chucked Jessie standing outside she just chuckled, not chucked. I thought she chucked Jessie out, no. My mum just chuckled. Jessie standing outside the door with flowers. Oh, that's cute though. With flowers, before I hear her approach him, this is the mum, shaking his hand. Hello, miss, she says to him. Because he obviously told her, she told your mum that it's a girl coming. Oh, that's so funny. Hello, miss, she says to him. At this point, I just wanted to melt into the floor. I really don't blame you. We went on the date where I explained everything, and we remained friends. 5 years later, I'm in a happy relationship, and he's engaged to a man! What? Do you think you were both like... Maybe like he thought he was being set up with a boy as well. Like you thought you were being set up with a girl, he thought he was being set up by a boy. Because the friend who set you both up is gay, so maybe they thought, oh, you've got a gay friend who you're going to set me up with. Imagine if he was thinking the same thing, like when the door opened, he's like, why the fuck is there a girl standing at the door? And you're like, why the fuck is there a boy? That's so funny. Yeah, I'm in a happy relationship and he's engaged to a man. Funny how things work out. Probably the worst way I could have came out, but I wouldn't change it. It's always a great conversation to have at family dinners. I think that's so iconic. Like, most coming out stories I don't think are that funny. Like obviously some like aren't funny because their parents like freak out, so really happy for you that your parents were just like super chill about it, because you know not everyone gets that experience. But I'm just so here for you, like freaking out, running, not even running downstairs, like shouting from like the top of the stairs like, I'm dating a girl, like I'm going on a date with a girl. Your parents just being like, oh okay, and then them opening the door to a man. I would love to have been a fly on the wall to see everyone's faces in that situation. But yeah, happy for Jesse. He's met his man. You're in a happy relationship. So it all worked out well. And I guess, yeah, like it's one of them things where you just have to live, laugh, love lesbian about it. Yeah, no, that is brilliant. Shall we do another few dilemmas? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so, hey Juliet. Okay, this is a bad story. Oh dear. I was on a first date with a girl and we decided to go bowling. Halfway through our game, she starts acting weird, looking over my shoulder and going really quiet. I ask her what's the matter, and she tells me that her ex-girlfriend is literally 2 lanes over bowling with her new girlfriend. Oh my god, no, I would cry. So you're on a date with a girl, you're bowling, she's like, oh god. And then like 2 lanes over is her ex-girlfriend with her new girlfriend. That is very stressful. It gets worse. How can it possibly get worse? My date goes to the bathroom and doesn't come back for about 20 minutes. I'm thinking, is she secretly meeting up with her ex in there? But no, she's happily bowling still. I feel like my mind would go there too. If this date just like disappeared, I'd be like I'd be locking eyes with that ex, making sure they're not running to the bathroom as well to go and do God knows what in there. Anyway, when she does eventually come back, she's acting like nothing's happened. I can tell something's wrong and that she's been crying. Anyway, I tried to play it off for the rest of the date, but I didn't end up asking her on a second date. Am I a bad person? I don't think you're a bad person. I feel like the situation probably could have been handled better, like, by the both of you. Like, you're saying she was, yeah, for 20 minutes she was, like, in the bathroom. Like, I feel like within those 20 minutes you probably could have realised, like, you know, double-checked the ex, okay, she's not off to, like, secretly meet up with her ex in the bathroom, okay. I'm going to go to the bathroom, I'm going to check on her. I'm going to, like, how can I, like, support you through this? Do you want to leave? Let's go get pizza instead. You know, I'm not going to make you stay here bowling with me when your ex is literally 2 lanes over. But it's also giving you're not over your ex if you're crying in the bathroom for 20 minutes after. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like maybe you could have gone over, like, gone to the bathroom and just been like, listen, is everything okay? Is there anything I can do? And then she probably could have been like, yeah, I just like really didn't expect to see them here, like, you know, for whatever reason, da-da-da-da-da. Do you mind if we go? And you say, yeah, absolutely go. Let's go and get some pizza. And then maybe there could have been a second date. So I don't think you're a bad person for not asking her on a second date. But I feel like maybe if you like spoke about what happened, you could have like both come to like a mutual understanding of like why she felt the need to go to the bathroom for like 20 minutes. Like, because obviously there's something happened in that relationship for like her to be that upset at seeing the ex. I'd love to know if the ex also clocked eyes like with the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend, sorry. Like if they clocked eyes, or if just the girl you were on a date with saw the ex, ran to the bathroom, or if like the ex-girlfriend saw the ex-girlfriend. Does that make sense? I don't know. You know, you're not a bad person, but you know, maybe reach out, be like, hey, like she might be over her ex now. I mean, she probably feels bad, like she's probably like keeping herself up at night, being like, oh, like, I can't believe I ruined a date by like crying over my ex in the bathroom for 20 minutes. Like, and she might have had a bit more time to heal and grow and move on. So maybe reach out if you want to, but no pressure. Okay, next one. I took this girl that I'd been crushing on for ages on a super cute market day. I love going to the markets. I was actually going to ask her if she wanted to go with me on Sunday, but then I realised we wouldn't have time to get back from the markets and in time for the football. But don't you just love like all the little like small businesses and boutiques, like with all their little stores. Oh, I love it. Sorry, I'm getting distracted again. There was a little stall selling handmade rings, and the girl jokingly said, you should get me one. I laughed and actually ended up buying her one because why not? I really liked her and wanted to show her I was serious. She thought it was adorable and put it straight on her finger. A couple walked by and literally clapped, saying, congratulations. We both froze, realising how it must have looked. Oh my god, yeah, so they've like thought you've just got engaged because you've like given her this ring, she's put the ring on, but like surely shouldn't put it on the engagement finger. But I guess like this couple maybe just saw her putting on a ring and be like, oh my god, they've just got engaged. That's so cute. Imagine that poor couple if you're like, oh yeah, no, we're not engaged. Like, oh, I feel really bad for the couple, but maybe you didn't tell them anything. Anyway, I've lost where I am. There we go. That was manic. We both froze, realising how it must have looked. I've never seen someone take off a ring so fast in my life. We're still together though, so maybe that couple were onto something. Oh my god, I feel really bad that she like took it straight off. It's like, oh, here's a ring. Oh my god, I love it. Congratulations. Oh no, we're not engaged. And like pulling this ring off. I would have took it. I would have been like, oh my god, yeah, thank you. Like, do you want to buy us a drink? Have you seen the people that do that like go to bars and places and like do like fake proposals just to get drinks? So, you know, me and Taylor don't go out and we don't drink, so we would never do that. But I have seen that on TikTok, I think. Yeah, that's quite a cute story. Like, and imagine like when you actually get engaged, like, and you can like look back at think like the time when like that couple like thought you were engaged but you weren't engaged, but like that was like one of your first days. Like, that's a really cute memory to be able to look back on. I love that. Okay, we have a worst first date story. Shall we get into it? I think so. Here is my worst first date story. We were at a karaoke bar. I feel like I can tell where this is going to go. My date was super cute and I wanted to impress her. She dared me to sing something, so I picked Toxic by Britney Spears. Now I don't want to say Toxic by Britney Spears. Halfway through, I'm getting way too into the song and I spilt and slipped on my beer and fell flat on my back on stage. I would just never get up. I would just lay there and say, leave me, just let the ground swallow me up, let me decompose into the floor. Yeah, I would just cry. Sorry, I'm going to carry on. The whole bar laughed. No, I would cry. I'd actually be so mortified. The whole bar laughed and my date rushed to help me. Okay, that's really cute though. Like, at least she didn't get the ick. Or maybe she did. We need to keep reading. My date rushed to help me. I was mortified, but she said it was the best first date she'd ever been on. We did also end up going on a few more dates after that, but I have avoided karaoke bars ever since. Wow. You must be some sexy, sexy motherfucker for this girl to not have got the ick, because, not gonna lie, I feel like even now, if me and Taylor went somewhere and Taylor went and sang karaoke, which she would never do, she could think of nothing worse, but if she... I think I would get the ick by Taylor just singing a song on karaoke, let alone singing a song on karaoke and slipping over on stage. That's brilliant. But like, that is really sweet that she got up to help you. And obviously it didn't work out, but you did go on a few more dates. But yeah, I definitely don't think I would ever be going back to a karaoke bar to sing ever again. I don't actually know if I would have the balls to do that. Like, I literally used to sing in front of people for a living, but I just don't think I could do that anymore. Should we do one more? Let's do one more and then we'll wrap up today's episode. So, here we go. Hey girl, love the pod. Thanks. Here is my most mortifying lesbian dilemma ever. I feel like this is going to be a good one to finish on. I was texting my best friend about this girl I was seeing, saying something like, she's cute, but I just don't know if she's really my type. Well, guess who I accidentally sent it to? The girl I was seeing. Oh my God. I feel like we've all been there. Like, we've all sent a text to someone and then gone, shit, that was meant for someone else. Thankfully, with like modern day technology, sorry, I'm sitting myself up. With modern day technology, I think pretty much every app you can delete a message. But I remember back in the day, I sent a Facebook message to somebody and the message was about somebody and it wouldn't delete. And I was very stressed. It wasn't like a mean thing, but it just wasn't meant for that person. And I was really, really stressed because I couldn't delete it. And I was like, oh. But yeah, thankfully modern day technology, you can delete text. But obviously this person saw it. I wanted the earth to swallow me whole. Don't blame you. She just replied, yeah, I kind of got that vibe. Oh my God. Needless to say, that was our last date. Lesson learned, double check your messages before you hit send. Yeah, that is crazy. I do feel like sometimes I'll send a text to the wrong person. The other day, I was trying to send Taylor a picture of one of our cats and I sent the same, like I took the photo, sent it to one of my other friends, did it again, sent it to the same friend, did it one more time, and I'm like, definitely send to Taylor. I sent 3 photos of my cat to my friend. My poor friend having to look at photos. I mean, to be fair, it could have been much worse photos. It was just photos of the cat. It could have been a different type of cat. No, we don't do that. That's a bad thing to put out on the internet. We don't do that, I promise. What was I saying? I'm getting too comfortable on this podcast, aren't I? Yeah, it was just the cat, but I sent it to space and like it is easy, I think, to send the wrong person a message. I feel like when you send a message, it should be like, send. Is this the person you want to send the message to? And you're like, yes or no. But I feel like the majority of the time you wouldn't actually like need to use that feature, just like very occasionally. Yeah, you said needless to say, what did you say? Needless to say, no, yeah, that was our last date. Oh God. I mean, I feel like you could have said something so much worse. You could have been like, oh, just got back from a date with so-and-so, she's smelly, she's rude, she's horrible, she's ugly, I hate her, I don't like her. Or you said, well, you don't think she's your type, which like is kind of fair enough, but then obviously this person was like, yeah, I kind of like got the vibe, like maybe you were just like giving the vibes on the date that like you just like weren't fully into it. But obviously it wasn't meant to be, and hopefully you have learnt your lesson and you don't send the text to the wrong person. But it is hard. You know what as well, I don't like that you can't delete emails. Like, I hate emailing and I hate emailing, full stop. It's so like formal, like kind regards Juliet, like, oh, I just hate it. And I feel like when I'm like texting anyone, I'll put like a kiss at the end just to be like, kiss. But on emails, that feels really unprofessional. I hate emailing. But you can't delete an email. Like, I think every other texting, messaging platform, you can delete something that you've sent, but emails, you can't. So if like you know, forget, say like you're emailing a few people the same thing, you forget to like change the name, like you can't even quickly edit the name out of the email, because we've all been there, we've all sent like the same text to someone and just like changed the like, hey Juliet to like hey Taylor, and we've all forgot to change the name, and then be like, shit, and quickly like edit message, delete the name and change it. That's my biggest pet peeve with emails. You can't edit, you can't delete. Once you've sent that, it is gone. I hate them. But yeah, guys, that is us wrapping up this episode for today. Thank you all so much for being here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, download, review, share, follow the podcast on TikTok and Instagram. On Instagram, we're live-laugh-love-lesbian.podcast, and TikTok, live-laugh-love-lesbian.pod. Head to the show notes to send in your dilemmas or questions or stories, or they are linked in the bio of Instagram. And TikTok won't let me link like a website, which I think is really rude. But if you go on the TikTok, the Instagram is linked, and then you just have to click the link in the Instagram bio. So just go to the Instagram, that's probably easier. Where else can you find us? I think that's everywhere. Obviously, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can find us on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, search Live, Laugh, Love Lesbian podcast on YouTube and we will come right up for you. I think my channel name is Juliet Francis T, just the same as my Instagram and TikTok, my personal ones. But yeah, follow us, download our podcast, share it with your friends, give us a review. We'd be so grateful. And I will see you all next week for episode 32. Love you all. Bye.